Hello and welcome to today's Dux-Soup webinar. I'm Jo Henderson, one of the faces behind the marketing team here at Dux. With me today are Jim Kuzminskate and Giles Garnett, both from Dux-Soup, and of course today's guest of honour, Gaurav Sharma, digital marketing, sales funnel conversion expert and founder of Attrock Digital Marketing. So some housekeeping points before we start. This is a business-focused webinar rather than the deep dive technical sessions that we often have. So everyone is on mute, but if you have questions, just pop them in the chat box and Jen or Giles will answer these as we go. If you have any specific questions for Gaurav, then we'll cover these off at the end. And the recording will also be available as usual, and it will be emailed to you in about 5 or 6 hours. So let's get on to talk a little bit about our guest speaker. Although Gaurav loves to travel, like many of us over the last 2 years or so, his feet have been firmly planted on his home turf in India, where he's currently preparing for the opening of his fabulous new offices in just a couple of months. Obviously, I've been lucky enough to have a sneak preview of some of the content that he will be talking through today, and I have to say it's absolutely crammed full of great tips to really boost your online presence and generate leads for your sales pipeline. As we talked through the content together last week, what struck me most was the expertise he's sharing with us today, because all of it can be so easily implemented, and what's more, we can do it straight away. He's even recommended a number of tools to get us started. When I asked him what would be his key business takeaway from the events of the last 2 years, his response was to know how to stay strong as a business, to be able to retain your clients, and to focus on the ways to generate recurring revenue. So with all of that in mind, allow me to introduce Gaurav Sharma as he talks through his 6 strategies to successfully generate sales online. Gaurav, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jo. I'm excited to be here. So let's get started with how to increase sales online for your business. So this presentation is going to be about mostly about you can say B2B and B2C industries, as well as for startups, small businesses, as well as e-commerce businesses. So local businesses also covers up. So all the strategies that I'm going to talk about here is going to take care of like all this local businesses, startups, you can say software companies, e-commerce businesses, and it's going to be more about, you can say, the overview, the overview style, the superficial ideas that what you can do and what can be done for businesses to increase sales. So let's dive into that. And before we start, myself, Gaurav Sharma, I have almost 10 years of experience in this industry and worked mostly into marketing areas on content marketing, SEO, growth hacking, website conversion, sales funnel, PPC, and worked with Fortune 500 companies, SaaS marketing companies, e-commerce, startups, influencers, and help them to grow their businesses in terms of revenue, ROI, and much more. So let's start with the presentation. Today we're going to talk about 6 strategies, although there are many more strategies as well. But I think we have like limited time today, and I'll try to cover like 6 main important strategies that actually helps you can say small business, e-commerce or startup really well. So we'll go with content marketing, SEO, power of reviews, paid advertising, affiliate marketing, and LinkedIn marketing. Let's start with content first. These days, content is like backbone of everything now. And as Google is growing, Google is like pushing content over and over, and everyone is likely to go after content. Now, back in days, like 15 years back, outbound marketing, or you can say cold outreach, is like kind of more popular. But now the inbound marketing or the content marketing is like taking place, and the outbound thing is kind of like going off these days, you can say. But to make sure that you guys are like more influential and having like a brand presence, content marketing is a way to go for your brand, so that people will know about your brand and people will be likely to follow your brand, because you are trying to create educational content for them and giving them education about what things are good for you, for them, and what are not. So let's start with content marketing. So we'll try to cover a few points like how to create a buyer persona, how to create intent-based content, what is lead magnet, landing page optimization, guest blogging, and you can say syndication. So content marketing is, in nutshell, what I say is you try to create content and try to educate or your audience specifically, and once you educate your audience, you try to capture their email address or phone number or contact or something, or maybe give them enough information so that they actually send you some kind of inquiry for your business, so that you are able to generate inquiries or your generate leads for your business. Okay, so first step for to make your content marketing successful is to create an audience persona. Audience persona is kind of, in simple words, you can say you're defining your audience in different bullet points that defines the age group. I can say a gender, location, depends on different businesses. Just say uh, it's a pediatrician, it's a doctor. Okay, so the age group will be children, 2 to 10. Okay, gender would be male, female. So depends on the business. The buyer persona may change. For, you can say, B2B softwares, buyer persona would be like the CEOs or CMOs of the companies. Okay, and the age group could be from 25 to 60. So that's the kind of decision maker age group. So what you need to understand is defining the buyer persona. Define who will be your decision maker, whether it's a parent, mother, father. It could be CEO, CMOs, or maybe it's an maybe you can say HR software you're making. So the HR of the company would be the decision maker, because that person is going to convince the CEO to make it work. Okay, so you need to define your audience in a right way, so that in the next step you try to create content for them. Okay, so just take an example. uh, you have a e-commerce store of fashion. Okay, and it's a ladies fashion store, female, woman is the main audience, but you create content related to male. So there is no point, because you're wasting time and creating content for the male audience, but the product you have is for the female or women's. Okay, and that's kind of waste. So creating a content for wrong audience, it's not gonna help you at all. So creating buyers persona for all your businesses is very important. Okay, whether it's a big business, it's a international business, look, having a location for, let's target for USA, for UK or European countries, or maybe Asian countries, defining those things really helps. Okay, that's a very first step. Second is to important is to create intent based content. When I say intent based content, you need to define the content. Like, it could be educational content, it could be transactional content, it could be navigational content, it could be a mixed intent content. So what I mean by this is, take an example. If I write a content about how to start a blog, okay, it seems to be an educational content, but it's also a commercial intent, because you're trying to send them to different areas. Like, when you start a blog, you want to have a domain, so you want to send them to a domain provider. So it goes to GoDaddy. Okay, then they comes you need to buy a hosting. So you are trying to navigate that person to first you educate them, and then you are navigating that person to a transactional website, and then somehow you are making money from that. Maybe you are having all this product as your services in your company. So you are trying to navigate them to purchase those products, services from you. So you are educating them, and then you are still pushing them or engaging them and encouraging them to buy their product or buy their services. So that's mixed intent. But the important is you're defining the content and define the intent for your audience that you have just defined in the first step. Okay, so it could be four types: informational, commercial, navigational, transactional, and mixed intent is also kind of very popular. Okay, next is lead magnet. So as I said in the beginning, when you create a content, what happens usually especially in the web world, if 100 people visit your website, 40 to 50 people are going to bounce off, and that's kind of annoying part for most of the business owners. So what happens is, you try to, like, get their email address or contact number or something from them, and to get that, you need to create lead magnet. And that's kind of that's called a gated content. That's behind a gate, and that gate can be open after entering the email address or phone number, or the name, or whatever the information you need. If you want to run an email campaign, ask for the email address. If you want to run a WhatsApp campaign, or just SMS campaign, you can ask for those details on the in the form of like pop-up. It could be inline lead magnets, or there are different types of lead magnets area that you can use. Okay, so from that area, what happens is, if 100 people visit your website, and out of that 40 people drop off, 60 people came in, and out of 60 only 10 of them send you the inquiry. That means 50 are like they just consume the content and left. So what you can do is just give them free ebook or some kind of report or checklist or some kind of toolkit that is kind of useful for them. So they give you some they give you their personal information, that's what's email address or phone number, and then you can run a campaign, email campaign separately, and lure them or just engage them with your content, and then try to lure them to buy your service or buy your product. So that's a different strategy, but starts from the content marketing, and that's you try to engage them with content. Now important part, when you create the content part, it's also important that where the page they are going to land on, the main page, you can say, the sales page or the landing page, it should be well optimized, so that if you are trying to send them to buy a domain registration number or buy a hosting, make sure the landing page has a really nice user experience. It looks nice, it's pleasing, the messaging is well clear, the call to action is very clear, it's well highlighted, and so that, and it has very it has clarity on what the product is about, why it's important for you, why do you need it, how it's going to help you. So it's going to define the USP and UVP of the product. So all these things really helps to convert more. So if you, so what happens is, now let's connect the dots slowly. You create the content, person lands into that content, landing on the blog post, he consumed the content. Now you navigate that person to a new landing page. He went to the landing page, but he didn't find it good. He find it like fishy or something, like old design. He was not comfortable enough to send the inquiry or maybe buy the product directly from your website. So make sure the landing page experience is really nice. It's engaging, and maybe try to do A/B testing that could help you to get the perfect landing page for your business. Okay. Now, with the content on your website as a blog form, that's one thing. Creating an intent-based content, that's good. Now you make the landing page nice and user experience and user friendly, mobile friendly, all good. Now the next step of content marketing is to you start promoting yourself to third-party websites. So you reach out to like third-party websites and within your niche, definitely, because you need to make sure that you are promoting your website and you're promoting yourself to a relevant websites only. Okay, so if you are selling electronics gadgets, try to go for electronics or maybe technology websites where they talk about gadgets and new technologies all the time. So those blogs or those bloggers would be your could be your good friends, and you could be just reach out to them simply and ask them that I want to uh, like share a content with you, and that helps you to get one backlink. That's helps you in SEO point of view. That's a separate thing we're going to talk later, but it helps you in brand awareness. People will start getting know about, okay, this guy talk about swimming pool all the time, this guy talk about gadgets all the time, and that's actually builds your thought leadership over time. So guest posting helps you in brand awareness, thought leadership, and if you create engageable content in guest blog, and somebody visit that website and consume that content and find it interesting, they may land back to your website and send you an inquiry. So you also get lead from guest posting. Okay, so guest posting is something we do on third-party website by creating fresh content for them, and that's something for free. So it's for your brand building. So that's a interesting thing. Now, next stuff is syndication. There's a small difference. That's something you need to remember with syndication is syndication. The content you already created on your website in the second step while defining the intent for the audience. Now you just copy and paste the same content to third-party websites. Okay, that's how you need to like you republishing the content. Now the important fact is, this is something you might have noticed somewhere, that you have heard the name Reuters. Reuters is a big news agency, very big news agency. Okay, Reuters. So what they do is they collect all the news and they publish on their websites. Now what happens is third news websites, local news websites or different country, try to copy and paste their news on their website. Okay, so Reuters.com publish their news on their website. Now abc.com comes and they haven't reported that news, and there's no reporter who actually claimed that news, so that abc.com will copy and paste the content from Reuters.com and publish on their website and give a source at the end with a backlink that the post is originally published on Reuters.com. So that's called syndication. So they syndicated your original content on their website. Sometimes they ask for permission, and sometimes they just publish it and just mention that it originally published on Reuters.com. That's syndication. So same stuff can be done for your businesses. So you create something engageable content, make sure it's very informative, because nobody like to create like syndicate the content unless it's extremely engaging and extremely valuable. Okay, but syndication part really helps you get you good quality backlink plus branding and definitely good lead traffic, and thus like qualified traffic comes in, so it brings qualified leads. So everything plays a good role here. So syndication is a really good practice, but make sure the content is very, very relevant and extremely informative and useful and kind of unique in the industry. That brings syndication results more positive. Okay, now next jump we do the few tools that can be used for content marketing practices. So for landing page builders like HubSpot, Smooth, MailerLite. So HubSpot is a CRM, MailerLite is a email marketing tool, but they also have like a free feature, you can say landing page builder feature on their website. That's something you can use for free, but there's a website called Unbounce. It's a paid tool, but a really nice one, really nice if you want to make it extensive and with a lot of cool features. Unbounce is a good platform for that. For syndication, Lending Pulse, very popular, you might also already know. Quora, Medium is a good platform, and all three are free. Just indicate it, but just don't spam it, so that Google will like kind of not like it when you do it for SEO point of view, because people do a syndication for content marketing point of view, for branding, but also people do it for SEO point of view, that I'm going to discuss in the next step. Okay, that's about content marketing. Now when we talk about the SEO part, so SEO seems to be very confusing in last 15 years. When I started my career like 10 years back, I used to do like shady link building tactics. That's like link farming or profile linking and blog commenting and all kind of shady practices that's been happening in like 2011, 2010, and that's kind of like done now. It's no more. People still do it. I do receive a lot of email that I'll do the SEO for you in $100 and make your website rank. That's kind of, I know, bullshit, but people do this thing. It's kind of very common these days even. But with my experiences, I try to break down the SEO in 3 steps. First thing is the on-page optimization. You optimize the website for SEO following the all guidelines by Google. Okay. Second is you create a content strategy for your website. Make sure that the content is super solid. That's like intent based. That's something we just defined like few minutes back. And making sure that the content that we defining, it's intent based, but also in a topic cluster form, or you can say hub and spoke model. So that's something I'll talk about in the next slide, but that's the content strategy. So one thing is you define the on page, you make the website like following all the guidelines by Google. That's on page optimization. Then you define a content strategy, hub and spoke model. That's also called as a topic cluster model. And third thing is you're doing the extensive link building. So now Google don't like link building, honestly. Google always say don't do link building, and that's kind of fine for them because they want to keep their algorithm very safe. But it's very important and to know that everyone in the industry understand the backlink is the backbone for SEO. You need to create really good amount of backlinks for your website, for your landing pages, so they perform really well. Okay, and even if Google say don't do backlink will be the backbone and is the backbone of SEO and the algorithm of search engine, specifically for Google. Okay, now let's go into the on-page automation. So on-page automation requires and covers up something around 200 points, and I just try to add only like few pointers here that is like some kind of like a category of all those 200 points that defines the website has to be a nice page experience, that should be like the core web vital should be good, the page speed should be good, it should be mobile friendly, the site structure should be silo structure, that everything defined in the same categories, that if there's people talking about fashion, then it should be everything about fashion, or you can say uh, it should be well structured. That's a silo site structure. Uh, then you have a secured and safe website, and it's a SEO friendly URL. It's short and sweet, and the keywords on the like title, subtitle, meta description, URLs, subheadings throughout the content. Density something on 1.5. So these like the whole on page is requires a whole new webinar for that. So, but the main point from SEO is that you covering all the on-page optimization for your website. That's very important to make sure the page ranks and you start getting leads from that. Okay, next is content strategy. So the content strategy that we discussed in the first point, here I just want to like expand it in form of the hub and spoke model, or you can say topic cluster model. What it is, right? So what happens is when we do SEO, these days now what Google do is they try to understand whether your website is really good and really talking about your industry or your niche, because the competition is increasing, everybody is going online, and it's become really hard for Google to identify organically a really good credible websites for the user, so that the user stays on Google and try to use Google over and over. Okay, they don't go for Yahoo or Bing or Yandex. So to engage those users, Google wants uh, to make sure that whatever query they write, they get accurate and the most appropriate results for them, and they get satisfied with that. Okay, and for any industry, the competition is increasing, it's booming. So for Google, it becomes really hard. So what Google do these days is they try to understand whether if you become an if there's a website called abc.com, xyz.com, it has to be like superb in that niche, and they should have like tons of content. So for a website, how to become a popular website, there are two ways how Google can identify. First is every third party website is talking about xyz.com. Every third party website is talking about xyz.com, and they are linking back to xyz.com over and over every single time. Okay, second is you have tons of content. Let's say you talk about again, let's electronics gadgets. Okay, talk about mobile phones, new mobile coming in, it's Apple or Vivo or Oppo or OnePlus, all those kind of mobile phones that's coming up. Okay, you keep on talking about those phones, and you have like 500 content on your website, and every single content is about new phones and old phones and comparison and testing and all those different types of content that you can create for your audience, uh, for uh, for the industry of mobile gadgets. Okay, so that part gives a strong signal to Google that okay, this guys always talk about mobile phones all the time, Android and Apple, all these categories, and they are getting backlink from third-party website which are also talking about Android and iPhone and iOS and mobile gadgets. Okay, so there's a chance that these people are like authoritative, and their website is good. Google is able to understand your page really well, and with that help, they try to push you. They try to push you to like page one for your main keyword. So you optimize your page with those keywords, and then Google pushes you because you have like decent number of content on your website, relevant and engageable for the users, and also those content is actually satisfying the user's query. So if somebody is writing on the Google like best uh, best Android phone in 2022, so your website will show up for that blog post or for the landing page that you created on your website, and you have tons of content, you have tons of internal links. So having a hub and spoke model really helps. So what happens is you create a hub article, you can say a cornerstone article or a pillar content, and then you create a sub articles, spoke articles, or you can the child articles. That's hub is the parent and the spoke is the child. um, and then you create child articles related to it and making a lot of internal linkings, and the hub article is linked to your sales page or your main landing page where you're trying to sell your services. So the pillar article will start ranking, and it has like a decent number of volume. People start getting in, they start consuming the content, and they navigate to your landing page, service pages, and they find it interesting because you have already optimized it, right? A few slides back, you have optimized it really well. Now you get the lead, and then voila, you got the online sale just by, and that's inbound. You did everything on your website, improve it, you made user experience great, you get the lead, and that's how you get sales online, inbound. There's outbound strategy as well that we can discuss a little bit here and there, but this is an inbound strategy using SEO as well as content marketing, because these days content marketing and SEO goes hand in hand. So don't ever get confused. You need content for SEO and from branding as well. Okay. Now, as I said, extensive link building. I specifically mentioned extensive. I can say aggressive as well, because you need to have an aggressive and extensive link building for your business, because this is something I've been looking and I've been seeing for many businesses, that people don't go after this. And people or the brands who have following the extensive link building, they are like giants in the industry. They're really big, really big. So having aggressive link building practices, making sure that those are like really white hat and you can say engageable, and in the form of like outreach. So you're trying to reach out to those editorial websites or third-party websites, asking them to link you for creating a guest content, or you can say maybe just send something. You just don't pay for them for the backlink. If Google understand you got a paid backlinks, that could be a problematic situation. So either way, you can create educational content, informative content, and send the maybe xyz.com or abc.com, ask them to link you back, okay, by exchanging the content. So you are giving information content for them, because creating a educational information content takes a lot of efforts. So just take an example in my experience. You can say uh, just to create really strong content, around 4,000 word of piece with extremely valuable, it will take something around like $200 to $300 just for one piece of content. Honestly, that's kind of cost you might find for engageable or good content. So there are like different types of content. You might find that these are long paragraphs and boring pieces, no engageable images, there's no interrupts, there's no readability is bad, there's no proper heading, there's no proper interrupts in form of videos or snapshots, or there's no education in point of images. So those kind of thing is not good, and people don't want likely to give you backlink in that type of content. So having educational and interactive and engageable content for third-party websites as well as for your website makes your website superb and engageable, and that's the whole game for SEO point of view. So there's one thing I like to say. There's the principle called pogo sticking. Pogo sticking is something. What happens is like, let's say on Google, when you go on Google, you type something, just let's say best Android phones in 2022, okay, and you click on the first link. You went to the website and you find it boring, you didn't find it, you didn't like it at all, and you just jump back to the Google page, and you went to the second website and review the page, and you find it no, not good at all. You go back to Google and you like the third, or click on the third one, and you find it interesting, and you never came back. You didn't came back to Google. You like uh, close that tab, and you purchase the product or not, doesn't matter. For Google, what matters is you didn't came back from the third link. Okay, so what happens is, over time, Google will see that, okay, on third link, the pogo sticking effect is very low, and the dwell time is high, means people are like not dwelling from the third website. From first, second, dwelling is a lot. So Google will push you from third to first in few days or few weeks if they see this pattern over and over. Okay, so that's kind of things also plays a role in terms of SEO. But important thing is the content that that person published on the third link was engageable, readable, interesting, and user experience was good. Maybe he opened it on mobile, so the mobile friendliness was there. So those everything that I talked earlier is there on the landing page, and that's how automatically you got pushed. Okay, so and and that's how you start getting online sales, and that's organically, that's inbound. So we're going to talk about the fast practices as well, because these practices takes time for any business to get from 0 to 100 or 0 to a million. It takes time, but yeah, uh, it just, you can say these practices are exponential growth. It has exponential growth. When you talk about PPC, those stuff, those things have linear growth. So every time you put money, you get you get get sales. You stop the money, still stops. So those are linear growth. For SEO, for content, for thought leadership, for personal branding, these things takes time, but those are exponential growth. Okay, few tools for them: um, Google Keyword Planner, Google Search Console, Alexa, Google Analytics. These four are kind of free tools. I like Ahrefs, SEMrush a lot. So those are paid one, but yeah, they are really good tools and really helpful for any marketers out there. Next, we're going to talk about power of reviews. So as I said in the beginning, this PPT is all about small businesses, e-commerce, all kind of startups, or you can say software companies. So having strong reviews for your business is really, really important. The sad part about reviews is you will never know that somebody didn't send you the lead after looking at your reviews. Okay, so let's take an example. What I mean by this is, if you have been rated on Glassdoor, or you have been rated on Trustpilot, or you have been rated on G2.com, that 3.2 or 2.5 for your product, or maybe for your services. Okay, people will watch you. People will go on Google and look out for your reviews. Like they will go for like SEMrush review, or they will go after Moz review. Okay, and you have a really bad review on Google, they will never send you leads, they will never buy your product, and you will never know, and you will always wonder why I'm not getting leads. Because this happens. For me, we get a lot of leads, and people try to understand we are not getting too much leads because we are putting a lot of efforts on every single direction, every single channel. We're doing a lot of investment in PPC, we're doing a lot of efforts in content, email campaigns, but the amount of conversion is not that great. And the moment we try to review the website and try to identify the reputation, we see a lot of negative reviews that pushes the website down, and the person actually never knows. So having a strong reviews throughout, in at least on Google for page 1 or page 2 or page 3 is really, really important. Okay, so it works as social proofs, really powerful. As per statistics, almost 17% consumer trust reviews online. Okay, so that thing really, really helps. And as I discussed already, how it help branding, lead generation, and set part, you will never know if you are like having bad reviews. And okay, so make sure for your website, if it's a local business, just put your name on Google and put your name, brand name plus reviews on Google, and see if there is any negative reviews. If there are negative reviews, try to do online reputation management to reduce that number, or maybe ask your client to add your genuine reviews on those websites so that the number increases. So if they're like 15 reviews, 2.5 rating, then at least push more reviews, go for 30. At least it will be improved to 4 and 4 something. Anything above 4 is good. uh, so less than 4 makes it a little weird for businesses. So for local businesses, having a Google business page and having a strong rating there really helps. So one good example for this is if there's a cafe shop, cafeteria, or restaurants, They can simply ask or give some free dessert to the client and ask them to submit a genuine reviews. That's a really good way to get more and more strong reviews for cafe, restaurants, or local businesses. Really, it helps really well. And try to have the keyword in the reviews as well. That's a that's a tactic. So having a keyword in a review, just ask your client to have the best restaurant in Miami. Just have it. Just put that keyword in the review and make it long and it's informative review. Should not be like nice, that's great. That doesn't work. But having a keyword in the review in more informative way, 50 to 100 words, superb, works well. Okay. Same thing goes for software companies. Having reviews on Trustpilot, G2, Capterra, those websites works wonder for them to generate more leads and sales online. Because even if they have like strong branding but bad reviews, it sucks. Honestly, it sucks. Okay. For e-commerce, if you have your own website, or maybe you're just a third-party seller on Amazon or Walmart or Etsy, make sure your seller reviews are super strong, your product reviews are super strong. I don't push you guys to like go for unethical practices, but having strong reviews on a website really helps for more strong online sales. These 6 tools are really good one. Social mention, SEMrush, Hootsuite, Reputerology, for increasing the reviews, monitoring your reviews, making sure that the sentiments of those reviews are good, because these days Google is also going after the sentiments of reviews and understanding the sentiments, how people talk about your product on third-party websites, whether they're getting like bad stuff or good stuff. So those things really helps, uh, even in like reputation management and SEO and everywhere else. So next is how we can do sales from LinkedIn marketing. Now, LinkedIn has been growing really fast from like last 10 years, and it's mostly about B2B. Also, they are like B2C industry as well, but B2B is like really big in on LinkedIn. Okay, we can leverage LinkedIn like in 4 ways. First is networking. Second is groups, newsletters, and automation. And so what you can do first step is make sure the networking is good. To make sure you have a big network, make sure your profile is super optimized. It's well optimized and it look nice when you check out your LinkedIn. When you check out somebody else LinkedIn, the cover image is very informative, more professional. The display picture is really nice and professional, headshot, and the the title is good, the subtitle is good, the bio is good. You have like long descriptions, everything talking about what you do, how you do, why you do, um, who you do it for. So you define the audience really well within the description, and you have like whole journey, achievements, accolades. Try to make sure that the profile is very informative. So if somebody lands on a profile, they feel wowed with your profile. Make sure of that part. That really helps. And then you start reaching out to network and maybe in the same industry. So in the first step, we talk about the audience persona, right? So identify those people on LinkedIn and reach out to them. Send them a gentle message that I found you interesting. We we are on the same group. Let's catch up. Let's connect. Something very gentle and nice. Okay, and just build your network and try to create informative content on LinkedIn. Okay, because just having a strong network but no content on LinkedIn is not going to help you much. So strong network as per your audience, creating more strong engageable content. Just like you spend a lot of effort and energy on creating content for your website, you need to create engageable content on LinkedIn in terms of like videos, images, or polls that works really well on LinkedIn. So having strong network will help you to get more sales. Now second is, once you have like sent a lot of requests, now you already know that on a weekly basis you only send 100 requests. That's a cap you Microsoft have put in. Okay, now you can try to join other networks and try to engage those networks and see if any network would make sense and it's engageable, and you might find other people interesting, and people might send some information like we are looking for XYZ services, we're looking for content writers, we're looking for website developer. They mention those inputs on the different types of groups. Okay, so maybe if you are a website development agency, or maybe content writing agency, or any kind of agency or service provider or whatever, that could be a good lead for you within the groups. So joining those groups, getting engaged there, help you get more sales from that area. Next is a newsletter. So for newsletter, it's a new feature they recently launched like a few years back, and I still not everyone has that feature enabled on the system. So what helps is what does it do is you create a post and you just shoot out to all your subscribers. So if you have like 20,000 followers or connections on your LinkedIn, with newsletter you send that post to those 20,000 right away with a single click, and that helps you get more reach instantly. Although this feature is not available for everyone, but there is one hack for you guys today. Simply go to the support section of LinkedIn and ask them to enable the newsletter option, making sure the website profile is good, and we have something around 150 plus followers and few few, uh, few thousand connection, you can say. That would be good enough to get newsletters feature enabled on your system. Okay, so just reach out to the support, it will work easily. Okay, next is the automation part. So now when I talk about the networking thing and talk about the group part, and then with the newsletter thing, the networking part, reaching out to your audience, finding those audience, searching those audience, and reaching like visiting their profile, liking those things, liking their post, like that's kind of tedious process. It takes a lot of time, and it's not necessary that you generate leads right away from LinkedIn. So what you can do to save time and be more smart is doing LinkedIn automation. So you think LinkedIn automations, it can be done by multiple tools, but I personally prefer Dux-Soup. It's a great tool. It helps in like generating a good amount of leads for your business. And what you can do is you using a sales navigator or premium account, uh, just connect with the Dux-Soup. You can send message sequences, you can view the profiles for them, uh, and once you create the list on the Dux-Soup, automatically Dux-Soup will go their profile one by one, making sure that the LinkedIn is not banning your profile at all. So because this algorithm is well versed with the algorithm of LinkedIn, and they understand that they've been into this industry for so long, and they understand your profile, that what is best for them. So they go very slow, and progressively they view their profile, like and comment on their profiles, and engage with their profile, so that they start seeing that okay, this Gaurav guy is keep visiting my profile and liking my post over and over and over. And then after some time when I reach out to him, it won't be like blunt, and there's a chance that when I reach out to them with my automation sequence that I set up on the Dux-Soup, and in a very gentle way, so and in very gentle and educational way in the beginning, and I'm not trying to be persuasive in the beginning, maybe in the fourth or fifth message sequence, there's a higher chance that we are able to convert that lead, that you can say prospect, into a lead with automation. So let's summing up here with the automation part. uh, with the Dux-Soup, create a list, put this in the Dux-Soup, create a message sequence, make sure it's gentle and nice, and it's not persuasive too much. Okay, so be more gentle, be more helpful, give them your case studies, share them educational content, ask for a little help of like and comments here and there, just to engage them, like their post, comment their post, and then you just come up with the part that, okay, maybe I have found your website interesting, but I think your website lacks page speed, or it's not going really well for your business. Maybe we can help you with the revenue generation. Is that interest you? Very gentle, in a nice way, you try to submit a pitch in the third or fourth message sequence, and there's a high chance that person is going to reply, yep, that sounds interesting. Then you send them a calendar link, jump on a call, they find your service interesting, they hire you, you get the lead. So within this, the legwork, the whole legwork will be done by Dux-Soup, and that saves a lot of time, trust me. And Dux-Soup has been like used by like 60-70,000 professionals, and it's been crazy tool. I loved it. So one good example is case study that I've done previous year. I was able to like acquire 336 leads by investing something on 40 hours. So send 3,000 invites. This is something I did when there was no the connection cap. So we have like 100 a week. This is something when I did there was no cap. So that's a good part. But now at least what you can do is within the cap, make sure the audience list you have is very clean and nice. It's very you can say very qualified from the beginning. So the audience persona you have built and the list you build on Dux-Soup is clean and very straightforward, and you're targeting the accurate and the narrow audience for your Dux-Soup. And with that narrow audience, the chance of conversion increases really fast. So I was able to like generate almost 10% of conversion within the Dux-Soup, and still Dux-Soup works wonder, and definitely worth a try. Next, we talk about the affiliates part. Now, affiliate, you might find affiliate kind of confusing with the term of influencer. So what happens is affiliate and influencers are kind of same, but affiliates is mostly they use their link and they get paid for 10%, 5% commission, and the brand gets sales. To increase sales from the affiliate point of view, it's important that the first of all, the website, the page you have, the product you have, or this landing page you have is well optimized. Just like we discussed, the page of the landing page should be well optimized, engaging, messaging is clear, call to action is good. Once that is done, now you reach out to the right affiliate. So mostly affiliate are go for like bloggers. So who are the bloggers on the market? They are usually the affiliates. They don't do the social media part. People who do social media call as influencers, and affiliates are called as bloggers usually. This is how people talk about mostly. So for e-commerces, if you need more strong branding, go for influencers. If you need more sales, go for affiliate. And if you need more sales and branding, go for micro influencers. So they're like different approaches, different depends on your goals and everything. Okay, so finding the right affiliate, uh, simply go to CJ, share a sale, Rakuten, uh, Group High, Hipsy helps you in finding the right affiliate and influencer for your brand. Make sure you vet them on the basis of engagement, genuine followership, website traffic, audience type, and demographics, because their audience should be coincide with your audience. So whatever audience you have built in audience persona, they are coinciding with your audience. It's very important. Working with affiliates on their blogs, they sign up for affiliate on the account. If they get a unique link, they publish it on their they publish content on their website, and everybody who buy anything from that link, they get the commission, you get the sales. Same thing goes with influencers on social media. uh, in social media, it's hard to like add link, so people usually use a coupon code. Just within this example, you can use a unique coupon code for each influencers and see which influencer is performing really well for your brand. And just make sure that influencer affiliate you hire, you vet them, because there are a lot of fake influencer, fake affiliates. They say a lot of fake stuff that we can bring you sales, we can bring you good impressions and everything, but you don't get it once you pay and see the content at the end. Okay, so make sure the influencer are bet with their engagement rate, the audience quality, and they're using different tools. So as I said, Hipsy, Group High, uh, those tools are really well. And there's a new tool that has been recently launched, SparkToro. SparkToro is a tool launched by ex-Moz CEO, that's Rand Fishkin. So that's also a good tool for audience analytics. That also helps you to get more data about the influencer and the audience in more detail. And next is you can use coupon sites like Groupon and offers.com, and try to build a profile and put your coupons there, because they also have their audience, and with that audience you can get more sales. Okay, now once you start building the audience and start doing the affiliate part, it is very important you don't do influencer campaign or the affiliate campaign in one off. It should always be a long term campaigns. It should not be a one-off campaign at all, because one-off campaign, it's not, there's a less chance that you will get leads. Honestly, for higher growth, long-term campaigns is more successful. So you run the campaign for the first time, you understand that okay, maybe out of these 5 affiliates, 5 influencers, only 2 affiliate worked and brought results, and out of 5 only 1 influencer brought the results. So in the second campaigns you identify 5 more, pick the one which was best in the first campaign, pick 2 from the affiliate, and reach out to next affiliates and new influencers and see which one is bringing more results. Now to increase more, you ask them to contact and create sub affiliates. Okay, that sub affiliate is going to bring more leads for you, and that affiliate is going to get double commission. Okay, because sub affiliate is going to get 5%, and the sub affiliate is going to get his commission from his link, plus few commission, small commission from the sub affiliate for a sub affiliate partnership model. And then you also get more sales, and this whole systems becomes more strong for your business. And that's how the whole affiliate network you build becomes more successful, and you become more popular, and brand become super popular, get more sales online from affiliate part. So having a strong affiliate thing really helps. Now, how you can use multiple channels for affiliate marketing: using blog post with bloggers, using webinars, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, use with help of influencers, YouTube videos, emails. People who have like strong email list, 50,000 email list, ask them to shoot out a strong email for with a great copy. There's a high chance you get more conversion from there. If there's a podcaster, reach out to podcast. So there's a higher chance that somebody who is a great podcaster does not have a great website, does not have a strong LinkedIn or Instagram, but he has a good audience on podcast. So people also, if you're a strong audience in USA, uh, that podcaster does have the same audience, maybe the podcast could be a great affiliate for you, maybe a good influencer for you. So you need to keep testing what is best for your business, and I understand that which works for industry. Maybe do a competitor analysis, see which channels your competitors are using, leverage those channels right away. That gives you a head start and saves time. Now few tools for affiliate marketing as a network: CJ, Even, ShareSale, strong networks. Post Affiliate Pro, Volume, ClickBooth are good too. Okay, and followed by the paid advertising part, and this is the last part for this whole session. Uh, Increase sales from paid advertising. Search ads, display ads, social ads are the key to make things works for them. Now, in the beginning, when I said there are certain tactics that is more linear path, and there are certain tactics that has a exponential path. The SEO, content, thought leadership, those are exponential growth. So in the beginning takes time, and later on it booms and it skyrocket, and you'll be like overwhelmed with the leads and conversions and everything. Whereas the PPC is more linear. The more money you put in, more conversion and more sales you will see. And the moment you stop, everything gets stopped right away. Okay, search ads works really well for businesses who have small budget and very targeted. So search ad is good for keyword targeting. If you have a certain keywords that you want to rank on, like buy iPhone or something similar, very transactional keywords, go for PPC. Search ads works wonder for them. There are different PLA ads and everything for e-commerce. So that's a whole new different could take us a different session. Just make sure that the ad copy is persuasive, and we can use different tactics in search ad. Like you can go for competitors keywords. Okay, pick up the competitors keyword. Just like take example like this one, the white shark media. So they are putting new Jupiter media right there, that we are their number one competitors. So the audience generally, I can say, not too smart like marketers, so they will never understand that why it's new Jupiter media is ranking there, is putting their ad right there, why. So but they may jump in there, and they may find their website interesting, and they send the lead to them, and the user might never know that why they did it, because it's sometimes it's also impulsive movement when you just see an ad and you click on it right away and you just don't realize why you did it. So it's more impulsive, and but it works really well. And search ads works well for small budgets, for small businesses, really good. Writing persuasive ad copy, clear call to action, keeping it short, headline less than 30 characters, description less than 90 characters, defining a USP. If it's local business, add your phone number and support number. So those things really helps in strong conversion on search ads. Display ads, we can say, for more branding point of view, works wonder. Contextual ad, audience targeting. So what you can do is, and it also helpful in terms of, if you are uh, let's take an example. If somebody visits your website and didn't buy anything from you, so we use lead magnet to capture the email address in the beginning, right? But you can also retarget that audience on third-party website using display network. That's called retargeting or audience targeting, and that works really well. That works really well. And in terms of like brand recalling, and you can say strong branding for a business. And if somebody is looking for buy iPhone, they visit your website, they saw your ad, they saw your product, but they didn't buy the product from you. So this is something Amazon do it really well. So you visit amazon.com, you see the product, you didn't buy the product, and you left it, you bounce off, and you went to somebody else's website, you just check out you just check out uh, or maybe it's an Apple review, or by Apple 13 review, Apple 12 review. Okay, and you will find an ad next to that post of Amazon, of iPhone that you have saw like few minutes back. So that's retargeting. And you went to the third party website, the fourth website, the fifth website, you will see that ad over and over, and that's retargeting, and that's brand recalling. And then the next day, you when you are like confident that okay, let's buy iPhone, you will go to Amazon unintentionally, because back in mind it's there, because your brain, your subconscious mind has been like keeping that Amazon photo, Amazon brand image on your head, and you just never know about that part. So display ads with the remarketing really helps, and without remarketing, display ads helps in more branding point of view. um, Google AdWords gives you a lot of cool features in controlling those things. uh, make your placement wisely, and you can just pick the placement as per your choice. You will It's more customizable, so it's more handy, and that's something you can do on your own. It's easy. Also, they're like free courses available by Google. On Google, you can simply just write Google PPC courses, or free PPC courses by Google. You'll find a lot of PPC courses. That's something you can do on your own very easily. If you're a small business, and something, if a solopreneur want to do everything for on his own, that's something he can do right away. Creating responsive ads is also important, because these days everything is like going mobile, and even like me for my business, everyone is B2B. For my audience, my website audience, 60% is mobile. So even for B2B, it's going mobile, and B2C is like 80-90% mobile. So make sure the ads are responsive enough and good to go. Few tools, SEMrush, Google Trends, Adespresso, AdWords Editor is really good one. WordStream is also a good one that you can use, but that's a strong paid tool. But yeah, a good tool go. Now, if you guys have any questions for me, because I think I'm good for now. If you guys find it interesting, do let me know. Back to Joe. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Gaurav. I think that was really, really interesting. I think you managed to pack so much into the session as well, which is just brilliant. And you provided really clear and easy to follow advice for everybody on how to diversify their kind of their marketing outreach to generate more sales. So, and I think they're all things, as I said at the beginning, that we can really start implementing straight away, which makes it even more useful. I know we've had a few questions come in, so thank you, Gaurav. I'm going to hand over to Jin, and she can just run through some of those questions with you now.
Thank you very much for the webinar. So I have a few questions. One of the questions would be, lately I see that reviews don't show up in engine search result pages anymore, except one person reviews on a specific page. Is there a way to still use the reviews we already have on our company?
So, okay, so that I understand. I think I understood your question. Okay, so for a brand, if they're like different reviews coming up, single reviews coming up on a website, so using structure markup on your website, that's one thing you can do. Review markup, structure markup on your website, put it up there. Having all the reviews right there on your website will get you a rich snippet, and you can see more reviews on your website on the rich snippet. Plus, if you're talking about the third-party websites, uh, maybe what you can do is creating different profiles on your citation websites. If it's a local business or a software business, go for Captera G2 websites. Create your profile, add more reviews, because if only few reviews are coming up, then there's a chance that other reviews are like not performing well for the keyword or for your brand name. So for just to have strong branding, we like create the profiles, add more reviews, and add more backlinks here and there. Just do small bookmarking for those profiles. Automatically within few weeks you will see those reviews will start showing up on the page one for your brand easily. I hope that answer satisfies you.
Thank you. Another question would be, could you repeat the free landing page companies that you mentioned earlier? Free landing page companies.
Okay, free landing page builder. So MailerLite
Yes.
is one, and second is HubSpot, third is Move, and these are like different platforms, but yeah, they provide a free feature for creating landing pages. And if you want to be aggressive, go for creating landing page, ClickFunnels is a really solid tool. It's costly, $19 per month, but tons of crazy features and really solid tool.
Thank you very much. Another question would be, what are the bad practices that you would recommend avoiding?
Bad practices for which vertical?
No, everything, I guess. No, did not
Okay.
clarify.
Okay, for bad practices, that you are like not targeting the audience right, that's really bad. You're going south, or you can say in terms of content, you can say you need to make sure that everything is like against your audience is a bad practice. Not satisfying the audience interest is a bad practice. So like you created content, you created a video, you created a post on LinkedIn, but you're not understanding the fact that what your audience is looking for. Okay, so what you can do is create content that's something your audience looking for. So use keyword research or use Quora to understand what audience looking for. If you create a content that's something you think is interesting, but none of your audience is looking for it, that's a bad practice, because that's gonna waste your time, effort, and money. Okay, so whatever content you create, make sure it's audience interest friendly and intent based. Even for social media, for even for you can say ads, anything you create which is seems to be interesting for you but not interesting for your audience, it's a bad practice.
Thank you very much. We had quite a few questions from customers asking just if this will be recorded and sent to them. So of course it's not a question not for you, but to us. Just to want to clarify, the recording of this webinar will be sent to everyone, and also you will be able to have a look at it on our website. Another question would be, is it compulsory to get blacklists from the same language websites if my e-commerce website is in French language?
Can you repeat that, please?
Is it compulsory to get blacklists from the same language websites if my e-commerce website is in French language?
No, it's not compulsory. It's all good, all fine. Then you will be just having targeted traffic, that's all. It's not compulsory, and you don't have to worry about it if it's like in French and you're targeting French audience, and even if it ranks or performs well on different web countries, that's fine. It's all
Thank
good.
you. If we were to target one of these, which would you recommend?
These strategies, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it depends, totally depends on your goal, honestly, and the kind of budget. So as I said, if you have a small budget and you're like don't want to wait enough, go for PPC. Okay, if you have like a decent amount of budget and you have different revenue channels as well for your business, go for exponential growth, that is like from content and SEO. But uh, if you have like small budget, go for PPC, search ads specifically, and retargeting ads. Those things really helps. And LinkedIn, because it gets you like most instant leads right away, because targeting audience and with the automation part, it saves time. So LinkedIn and PPC for the quick growth, and for longer growth and long-term practices, SEO and content. So define your goals, that will help you pick what is best for you.
Thank you. Would you be able to expand on backlinks, please?
Sure. So when I say backlinks, the first thing I should say, the velocity of backlinks should be high for any website. When I say velocity, it means the monthly new reference domains you are building for your website. Now, when I say that's about the quantity, the velocity. Okay. Now we come to the quality of the backlink. The quality of the backlink has to be really nice and editorial. So when I say editorial, you need to make sure that every single backlink you get is passing through an editor and is publishing on his website by editing, going through an editorial process. It's not automated, it's not a regular website that takes the content and publish all the shitty content on his website. So that person, editor of the website, is auditing the content and making sure it's valuable for their audience, because Google will know that the website you are getting backlink from is authentic or genuine website or not. Okay, so getting a good backlink from a really good website is important. Getting a backlink from shitty practices or link farms or PBN or guest post networks or public networks, private networks, don't go for those things. Just make sure, in a simple word, create a backlink from outreach. So outreach, when you reach out to anybody, give them some value and earn a backlink, get a backlink in return. So the more you do, the faster you do. Maybe provide a free service. If you do just like, let me give you one example. Some in back in days, a campaign I've run, that I used to do free audit for them, free website audit, and I try to ask them to give a backlink for me if they find it really nice. Okay, so I give them free service, a small service, took half an hour or 1 hour for me, and give them a free audit, and they get a backlink for me, I get a backlink from them. So that's one small tactic. So something you give them free, in return, in terms of some kind of value they get, and you get a backlink. So reach out to them, reach out to relevant and niche, relevant audience, and then bargain them what works for them. If they need content, if they need some service, if they find any one of the product interesting, and you think that, okay, costing of one backlink for me is getting around $200 or $150. My product cost me $10, so sending a product, shipping and everything cost me $40, $20 something. Maybe sending a one product would be more feasible again than giving them a payment of something. Maybe a content takes like $200, let's send them the product. So you need to evaluate those things, but uh, bargain with the editors, third-party websites, try to lure them and get a backlink. So editorial backlinks is really good. Having backlink within the content with a branded keyword, or you can say anchor text exit match keyword, will help. Rest of the practices are not good, and you can say not Google update friendly, and because there's a chance you might follow some practices, like blog commenting and other thing, but they will be update from Google next 6 months later, and you will be penalized. So, but this is a very genuine practices. You're trying to earn a backlink with an effort and from a genuine website, and that works. I guess that would be enough for the backlink part, because it will take whole new session. I can talk for hours for backlinks, but I think it's good.
Thank you very much. Another question would be, will blog writing be helpful to increase the sale for e-commerce websites? Blog writing.
Yes, it does, because I do have like e-commerce clients, and we've been doing a lot of e-commerce, well, like blogging. So what we do is we do transactional, or you can say mixed intent based blog writing. So take an example, if you are like you can say home improvement company, you're providing home improvement services, or you can say no service, I can say home improvement products. Okay, so just take an example, like your lightning company, your lightning website. Okay, so just talk about listicle articles. Listicle articles are mixed intent based, so you can say 5 best chandeliers for 2021, or maybe you can say 25 modern chandeliers in 2022. So those are informational plus transactional blog writing, blog content, or blog keyword, you can say. That way you get the relevant traffic. So people who are looking for modern chandeliers, and you have those chandeliers on your e-commerce website, so you have interlinking all those products in a nice manner, and they find your post interesting, educational, they click on it, goes to a product page. Product page is well optimized, they bought the product, voila, you get the sales. So yes, blog writing for e-commerce works good, but mix intent based works wonder.
Thank you very much. Customer is saying thank you very much. Another question, by republishing the same material, does that not cause a conflict of interest in terms of Google ranking, as two documents are in direct competition with each other?
Yeah, it does totally, it does. Google hate duplicate content, honestly. But when it comes to syndication, and that's why I was focusing much on uh, the information and the uniqueness of the content, and the engagement, and the more about information is very unique. It has to be unique, because if you just write about how to do keyword research, it's very common uh, practice that everyone does, okay, in the marketing industry. So nobody's going to syndicate that content, but you create a unique, maybe you can create a report, or you create a strong survey within your industry that nobody does. Okay, and then you publish on your website, and then you publish on third-party websites. They will gonna syndicate it, but that syndication, because within the syndication you always get a backlink to the original source, always. So with the unique content and the syndication of that unique content, the information piece that is not much available around the world, and around the web, that's not gonna affect. But if you create a generic article, generic content, try to syndicate it with uh, non-editorial websites, then it could be a problem for you. So having from syndication from editorial websites or genuine, or you can say news websites, is not a interest conflict at all, and it's not going to affect SEO ever.
Thank you very much. That's it from me, and thank you very much for answering our customer questions. And back to Giles.
Great.
Yeah, thank you. Could you just flick to the next slide for me, please, Gaurav?
Sure.
Oh,
these are a few details about me. So if somebody wants to reach out to me, they can visit my website attrock.com, email address gaurav@attrock.com, and they can see my LinkedIn, and they can definitely learn something from the profile that I've built for myself, that how they can make their LinkedIn profile look nice and informative. And they can also reach out to Twitter and Instagram. So that's it from me. Next, back to Giles.
Thank you. And yeah, in 2 weeks' time, I'll be back to present looking at how we can personalize our outreaches. Sorry, I've been listening too much and not talking. How to personalize your outreach messages using Dux-Soup, how you can harness the power of Dux-Soup and make custom messages targeted to your audience, make that as customized as possible and as personal as possible to really make a difference in rather than just making it look like you're sending out a regular message to everybody, the same message as spamming everybody, how you can really make use of that functionality within Dux-Soup and in conjunction with LinkedIn. So that's in 2 weeks' time at the normal time. I'll hand back over to Joe to wrap up.
Thanks, all of you. So yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to Gaurav. We've had a long session packed full of really useful information. So thank you for sharing all of that with us, Gaurav. And thank you for those who have attended. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Sure. Thank you so much, guys.